Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So before I get into today's video, I just want to say, yesterday was my 10 years of YouTube anniversary, which is insane to think about. I'm getting old. But I'm not going to spend the whole video talking about it. I'm going to upload a separate video probably tomorrow or the next day that isn't a story and it's just fully about that topic and some other stuff that's pretty important. So yeah, if you like stuff like that, I will have a video tomorrow that is not a story. Well, I guess there's going to be some story in it, but for the most part, it's just talking about some important stuff. So if you like that stuff, it'll be tomorrow. Maybe the next day. It depends how long it takes me to make. But today's story time is a crazy one, and it's kind of funny to look back at. In the moment, it was really creepy, but now I can look at it and laugh, and I hopefully can tell the story and make you guys laugh too. So I hope you enjoy the video. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time is about the time that I met the weirdest plug ever. So yeah, strap in. The story time takes place back when I was 19. All right, I was in LA at the time, living there. But I was going home to visit New York, my hometown, for a little bit. I was going to be there for about a month. So, I was preparing to bring a lot more stuff back with me and, prepare to stay for a little longer than I usually would in New York. And at this time, I was smoking weed a little bit. I've gone through phases with it. I've talked about it on this channel 100 times. Sometimes I'm smoking, sometimes I'm not. And at this time, I was smoking. Now, this was before it was pretty much legal in New York to buy at dispensaries and stuff. So you had to have someone sell it to you. And back then, I didn't know anybody in my hometown, believe it or not. I used to. I mean, I've told stories about that stuff 100 times. But at this point, since I'd moved to LA, I kind of lost touch with the people I used to buy from, and they seemed to stop selling. So I had nobody to buy weed from. So I went back to New York completely just blind on where to get weed. So the first day I got back to New York, I started texting some of my friends that I knew smoked. And I was like, yo, do you guys know a plug? Do you know someone that could sell to me? I just want a little bit of weed, nothing crazy. And they're all like, nah, sorry, man, nah, my plug's dry. This person doesn't sell anymore. Just giving me, answers that I expected, to be honest. But then I hit up my one friend, all right? We'll call my friend Kyle. I hit up Kyle, who's the biggest stoner I know. And I was like, yo, dude, you know anyone that sells? Can I get your plug's number? I'm desperate. And he was like, yeah, dude, I got you. And it literally felt like the meme. He literally said, exact words was, he's kind of weird, but he's cool. And every time I see that meme on Twitter and Instagram where it's plug's a little weird, but he chill, I just think about this story because that was legit what the meme was based off of, essentially. Not my experience, but a bunch of people's experiences having that kind of conversation with their friend. So it was funny. I kind of got to see that meme before it became a meme in a way. But yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Just give me his number. So my friend Kyle gives me the dude's number. I hit this plug up, who's apparently kind of weird. And yeah, I just hit him up and I'm like, yo, my name's Austin. I'm Kyle's friend. I'm looking to buy an eighth. Could you hook me up? And immediately he responds with, sure, where and when? And I was like, dude, I can meet you wherever. Just give me a location. I'll go there. And he's like, what's your address? I'll just bring it to you. And I was like, okay. So I gave him the house I was staying at, which was kind of stupid of me. I should have just met him somewhere public. It was pretty dumb to not just think twice about that. But yeah, 10 minutes later, he pulls up, right? And he texts me. He's like, I'm here. So I go outside, I hop in his car, and he starts pulling out of my driveway, which is kind of creepy because usually, I just get in the car, we do the exchange, I get out. He doesn't drive or he doesn't leave where we meet. So yeah, this dude throws it in reverse and starts driving out of my driveway and not talking at all. So I speak up. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, I don't like to be in the same spot while I do this. I'd like to drive around. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I didn't really think too much about it. And I thought he was going to go around the block, but he pulls out of my neighborhood and gets on the highway. And I'm like, huh, okay. And at this point, it's been 5 minutes, right? And he just still hasn't turned around and asked me for the money or asked me anything, really. And we get on the highway, and I'm like, where are we going? And he's like, oh, I'm just going to the store. And I'm like, can I get the weed? And he's like, yeah, hold on, dude. I told you, I don't like to do it at people's houses. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, why would he say he could bring it to me, to my house, and then not do it right then and there? Why is he fucking making me go with him to the store? So anyway, 5 minutes later, we pull into the store. We get off the highway. We're at the store now. It's this grocery store, this local spot. We park in the front, not even in the back, right in the front where everyone can see us. He's like, all right, give me the money. And I'm like, okay. So I hand him the money. hands me the weed. I put it in my pocket. I go to dap him up and leave, right? Because I just don't want to be in this car anymore. At this point, I'd rather Uber home. I just didn't want to deal with it. He's like, where you going? And I'm like, I was just going to go home. And he's like, nah, bro, like, I'm going to take you home. I'm like, oh, like, you don't have to. It's okay. He's like, nah, bro, I got you. I'm like, okay. He's like, just come in the store with me quick. I'm like, all right. So I go in the store with this plug. And at this point, I'm texting my friend like, yo, your plug is kind of odd. Like, I'm going grocery shopping with him right now. And Kyle replies and goes, yeah, I've done that a couple times myself. And I was like, is this like safe? And he's like, yeah, dude, no, he's cool. He's not going to do anything. I'm like, okay. So we go into the store. And if you've ever wondered what a dealer buys at the grocery store, he bought a bunch of fruit. He bought like a few pounds of fruit, right? He then goes and gets these like snacks, like the Hostess like Twinkie snacks. They weren't Twinkies. There was some like variation of them. He then bought milk, a case of water, and Gatorade. So yeah, this man had a bunch of healthy stuff, a bunch of unhealthy stuff, and then some liquids. And we went to the front, bought the stuff, went back to his car. We get in the car. I'm thinking I'm about to go home, right? Like I'm really like expecting to just get dropped off home now. And he pulls out of the parking spot, and I think he's going to go to the exit to leave and get on the road and drive me home. And he takes a right turn. And that's not where you're supposed to go. The right turn leads to a different plaza where there were even more stores. And he pulls into this parking lot of two stores. One is a video game store, and the other one is a store that I'm not going to say the name of because you guys can look it up because it's still open. But essentially, it's a sex shop. Like they sell like adult videos, toys, DVDs, whatever, like all this random adult stuff, right? Like you get what I'm saying. It was some adult things. And he gets out of the car and he's like, all right, hold on, wait here. I'll be right back. And I'm like, nah, man, I think I'm just going to Uber. It's okay. He's like, bro, just wait. I'm offering you a ride, so take it. I'm like, fine, dude. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. And he shuts the door and he starts walking towards the two stores. Now, at this point, I'm thinking in my head, like, what store is he about to go into? Because there's a game store, it's like a GameStop-style store. It wasn't GameStop, but it was a local one where they just sell, games and game consoles and stuff and shit like that. And then there's the adult store. Now I'm thinking, like, okay, this is a no-brainer. He's going to go in the game store, right? Like, he's going to go in there and probably buy, like, a PS4 controller or something, or, like, a game. Like, no way some dude that's my age is about to go into, like, an adult video store. Like, I just don't believe it. And this dude starts to, like, veer left, and that's where the adult store is. And I'm thinking to myself, like, no fucking way. No way is he gonna. And then he opens the door to the adult video store, and he goes in there. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, this is insane. So I call up Kyle, and Kyle answers, and I'm like, yo, the plug just took me grocery shopping. Then he pulled around to a adult video store, and now he's in there buying who knows what. What is going on right now? And he's like, bro, I told you, he's kind of odd, but like, he's not a bad dude. I promise. Like, he's good. And like, his shit's good, bro. Like, you'll smoke it and you'll know why it's worth it. And I'm like, dude, this is insane. Like, at what point do I just get out of this car and Uber home? Because like, I'm kind of freaked out now. He's like, bro, you're in good hands. Trust me. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like I'm in good hands. He's like, bro, you're tripping. Just relax. And he hangs up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what the fuck is this, dude? So the guy comes out, right, after like 5 minutes. And he has nothing in his hands. And he looks kind of mad. He looks angry. And he swings open the driver's side door. He gets in. And he's like, man, fuck that place. And I was like, what's up, dude? He's like, I forgot my ID, so they won't let me buy anything. It's fucking stupid. Like, do I look like a little kid? And I was like, what were you trying to buy? He's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, all right, dude, shit, my bad. He's like, what's your address? And I'm like, here it is. And I give it to him. And he starts driving me home, right? And at this point, I'm thinking, like, finally, bro, I'm about to get out of this fucking mess. Like, thank fuck. I'm going to go home and just never go to this dude again because this is creepy. And literally halfway to my house, like, we're probably 3 or 4 minutes away from my house, he gets a phone call from some other dude. And the dude's on the phone. I could hear him because his phone was turned up so loud, asking this plug if he could get a dub. And the plug's like, yeah, I got you. Hold on. And he turns around and he looks at me. He's like, you care if we make a stop quick? And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to go home. And he's like, bro, come on. And I'm like, dude, we're 3 minutes away. Like, come on, I can see it on the GPS. We're right there. And he's like, fine, bro, whatever. Then he turns back to the phone. He's like, yeah, dude, so my current client doesn't want to make a stop right now, so you got to wait. And I can hear the guy, like, getting upset through the phone. He's like, come on, bro, like, I don't have time to wait. I got to go to work in, like, an hour. Like, I can't wait, bro. Now, him dropping me off was not going to take an hour, but I could hear how angry this guy was. And then the plug turned around, and he was like, bro, he's literally, like, a minute away from where you live. Can we just stop? It's right here. And I'm like, fine. If it really is right here, fine. And he wasn't lying. Like 30 seconds later, we were at this dude's house. It was literally on the way, like the same way we were going. So we pull in this dude's driveway. The dude comes out, and the plug just does the exchange right through the window. The guy doesn't have to get in the car, doesn't have to come grocery shopping with him, doesn't have to go to the adult video store. Like, the plug just gave him what he needed. The dude gave him the money, and the guy was about to go inside, right? And I think, okay, like, whatever, at least it was quick. But then this guy turns around as he's about to go inside, and he's like, yo, you want to come see this TV I bought? It's insane. And the plug's like, yeah, dude, sure. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, yo, let me the fuck out of this prison. Like, I just want to go home and smoke and watch, like, fucking Family Guy or something. I don't want to be in this random man's car any longer. Like, I don't even know this guy. So, yeah, dude, the plug shuts the car off, and he gets out to go in this guy's house to go see his new TV. And he goes, you coming? And he looks at me, and then the other guy looks at me, the guy that owned the house. He's like, yeah, you can come through. And I was like, okay. So I get out of the car, I go in there. And this shit just gets weirder and weirder, bro. So we go through the kitchen to go to the living room. We turn the corner into the living room. And this guy has a 60-inch flat screen TV watching Dwarf wrestling. Bro, like, if you don't know what Dwarf wrestling is, Google it. Because holy shit, is it insane. But also, like, I couldn't believe just the chain of events and what I was seeing on this day. I honestly thought that I accidentally, like, took acid or something in my cereal that morning, and I was just seeing things, because this whole day was a mindfuck. So, he shows us the TV, he shows us this insane Dwarf wrestling match he's watching, and then we leave, right? Finally, like, we get out of there, we get in the car, and he finally takes me home, right? He drives me back to my house, he drops me off, I get out of the car, I tell him thank you. And at this point, I was just annoyed. I wanted to go inside. He's like, yo, man, thanks for kicking it with me today. Like, my bad, it took a little longer than I thought. I thought we were just going to go to the store, do the deal there, because it was up the street, then take you home. But I got a little sidetracked. My bad. And I was like, it's fine, dude. It's all good. I'll see you later. He's like, all right, man, peace. And I go inside, roll the joint, and I started smoking it, because I needed to unwind ASAP. And Kyle was right. It was good stuff. I was feeling pretty nice. But it doesn't end there. The next morning, okay, just fast forward. The next morning, I wake up to a text from the plug. And he goes, yo. That's all it says is yo. And I respond, and I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, trying to kick it today? And that right there just confirmed everything. This dude didn't want another client. He just needed a fucking friend. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't know him that well, and I didn't really want to get roped into doing errands with him again. Especially if it meant that we had to go to another adult video store, because I still don't know to this day what he was going to buy. Now, the thing about those adult stores, at least in my area, they sometimes sell, like, pipes and bongs and stuff. So maybe that's what he was buying, because he needed a new one or something. But the fact he wouldn't tell me is kind of weird. So, yeah. I basically just ignored his text. I feel bad about it. I probably should have responded and be like, nah, man, I'm sorry. Or, like, told him why I don't want to. But I just ignored him, and I didn't buy from him again because I didn't want to go on, like, an errand run. But yeah, who knows what he's up to today? I mean, who knows, guys? Maybe I can hit him up and see what's going on. I don't know. If you want to see that, drop a comment. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the story time of the weirdest plug I've ever met. So yeah, moral of the story is, don't do any of the things I talked about in this story. That's about it. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new.
I be fully loaded, I be whipping foreign cars. Always stay devoted, mama knew I'd be a star.